And we're back to learn Photoshop in a year, day 308. Let me show you how you can export JPEGs. So right here I've got a book cover of mine and I want to use that for KDP, so Amazon's Kindle. Therefore I cannot really use a PNG. You have to upload it as a JPEG for it to be accepted. And you can do that under Export As. So don't use the quick export, use Export As. This menu should open. On the left, if you have multiple files active, you can choose multiple files at the same time. Keep the size to 1x. Here's also a scaling for 100%. For the most part, 100% is fine. But if you, for example, want to use your stuff for web UI stuff, maybe 200% is better because it increases the quality a little bit. File size obviously goes up with it, so keep that in mind when you use it. But for printing, most tasks in general, 100% is totally fine. And most importantly, at the top is the format. So here you need to pick JPG if it's not active, should be by default though. You can also pick PNGs here and GIFs. And then we have a quality option. And watch what happens is most impactful to the file size. You can see the file size on the left-hand side. It's 111.6 kilobytes right now. If I go down to the lowest quality, it's just 15. So this is most, as I've said, most impactful on the file size. Keep it to 6 for most jobs, that's fine. If you go to 7, it almost triples the file size. With an 8, this should be automatically set depending on the size of your image and your canvas. So just roll with it. And it's generally a good idea if you need different sizes to do that on the canvas, on the image itself first, and not here using the export. Keep the resample to the default by Cubic Automatic. These are just different sampling methods. That's more like an advanced thing, and for most jobs, the default is totally sufficient. Metadata is relatively new, especially with this beta function content credentials. So you can store them in your files too. If you, for example, want to be sure about the copyrights. So if you check it, copyright and contact info, this keeps the author with your files, and therefore you can trace it back. Final two options here for convert to RGB and then the embed color profile. I would keep that checked too. Color space itself is an important feature because it converts it to sRGB. So this ensures that the colors look correct on most screens and prevents this washed out, oversaturated color feel. I would keep that on for web, social media, YouTube thumbnails in particular, email designs, print designs. The only reason to turn that off would be if you specifically know that the result, the image file, is going to be used with a destination that supports Adobe RGB or Pro Photo. And Pro Photo especially is very rare. So I would advise you to just keep that checked. The embed color profile, this attaches the color profile tag. So it's like the sRGB in principle. It's going to be added to the exported image, and then other software know how to interpret the colors of the file. So this matters when the file is being used, for example, in Lightroom later on, or when it's being opened on different devices. I would advise you to keep that checked too, because if you uncheck it, it only has a minor impact on the file size. And you're definitely on the safe side with future use when you have it checked. Once you've got it all, just export, and then you can pick your folder. Already done that here. Let's confirm via export. Let me open this file so that you can see it. It's exported as a JPEG. Here we have it. So once more, if you want to export as a JPEG in Photoshop, go to File, Export, then Export As. Most important here is to set it in the dropdown JPG, and then you're good. Hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.